YouTube footage
here.
Man. But we're going to try, in honor of Australia Day and Australia as a nation.
And the Australian Open being finished.
Yeah.
On the bright side, it's a rich source of vitamin B.
It isn't bad. It's actually good for you.
Aaron, that looks like a lot.
Wow, you took a...
Oh, no, that's good.
Vegemite.
Wait, hold on. Okay, he's gonna do it, and he's kind of shrugging it off a little bit, but I guess here we go.
I can do this. I played hockey.
Oh my God!
But what do you think?
He's not throwing up.
Yeah.
It's starting to hit him now.
I can't pinpoint the taste. It's not bad.
Oh.
All right.
It's got a very unique flavor though.
We've heard beef and salt.
It's a very, very good. Definitely a salty aftertaste.
The fact that it has the consistency of peanut butter, but tastes like he's drowning it with a beer. But,
yeast with more yeast, right?
Thanks.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, the look on your face is kind of classic. We had talked about doing this with Aaron before.
That's great.
Well, you know what?
So thanks for being a good sport, Aaron, and trying to.
That's great.
He seemed like he was actually kind of dug it maybe for a second there.
I think on like a piece of bread or something, it wouldn't be that bad.
Wow.
And they say that's what you are. It's just like a sandwich thing. It really is. Butter some bread and put some Vegemite on it.
Aaron has actually made me a little bit more comfortable about Thursday.
Honestly, I'm like, I kind of want to eat some right now because he looked like it didn't look bad at all.
At first, it looked like he enjoyed it.
No, seriously, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna taste good.
He's probably ashamed that he actually kind of likes it.
A little bit. When you guys are dreading it, it's like maybe I shouldn't have liked that so
Yeah, he's gonna go home and get online and order this stuff.
No, you genuinely made me want to eat it. Like now, I'm like looking forward to eating this stuff. Yeah, and I am pretty hungry right now. Anyway, so the Vegemite sounds alright.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh man. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move into the crashing the net segment with Aaron Eggemeyer here in studio.
Yes, you gotta make the sound effect.
Oh wait, where's my sound? There we go.
There we go.
God, I need that. I wish the Red Wings would have that kind of goal horn. I'd love that. The old,
Just be happy it's not the Blackhawks song.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Good point.
Anyways, here we go. Aaron, All-Star Game just passed us up here with the NHL All-Star Game. They have the different format this year. Obviously, they had Team Lindstrom versus Team Stahl. Team Stahl was the captain, hometown captain, Carolina Hurricanes against Lickolas Lidstrom, one of the, arguably the best defensemen to ever play in the NHL. And
Place the ice.
Exactly. I guess we're going to kind of go down the whole, all of the events here that happened with the All-Star Game, starting with the draft that happened Friday night. I thought it was, I myself thought it was awesome. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was a fun watch. The storylines and everything that kind of developed when the draft was occurring as far as, brothers and everything. Stahl not drafting his brother right away, drafting other people ahead of him. Patrick Kane getting Lidstrom to not draft some Blackhawks players right away. I don't know. What were your overall impressions of the draft?
Overall, I thought it was actually a really fun experience. I thought it was really good for fans to kind of see their players have a little bit of fun in, a non-serious kind of game way after post-interviews, things like that. Obviously for the players, it's not always the most fun to be passed over guy after guy. And someone who was really outspoken about it was Patrick Elias in the news. He was really kind of upset, but, it's one of those things where it's all in good fun. You got to try to have fun with it. Phil Kessel was a good sport. I kind of have a bit of a beef with Elias over his comments. He's saying that it's kind of a terrible opportunity for players of this caliber to be picked last and to be kept waiting and rookies to go ahead of them. And
get over it.
Seriously.
Jesus.
You know what, too, Aaron? It's not like... in Kessel's case, yes, he was picked last, but the thing about it, too, as far as the draft goes, you had to pick goalies by a certain round, and you had to have defensemen in place by a certain round. So forwards were automatically, they were going to get picked last. A forward was going to get picked last. And the way I was thinking about it, I mean, if there was absolutely no rules as far as how you could draft players, Kessel may have not been drafted last. I mean, a goalie could have been drafted last, or a defenseman could have been drafted last. So, I mean...
He already made the All-Star game.
Exactly.
You already know he's an All-Star. It's a shame.
But he plays for Toronto, though.
It's a shame that someone would have to, have that kind of attitude.
And he got a
No,
car.
Exactly, yeah. And, he had, I think the bigger point was he had a bunch of money donated to a charity of his choice, so it really wasn't that bad of a deal. Patrick Elias, I really don't know if he had the room to talk about that kind of thing. He wasn't, like, the biggest all-star ever.
No, it's like his first All-Star game in, 6 years or something?
I really don't think if, New Jersey was having a better year, he wouldn't have made the cut. There's Kovalchuk, there's Parise, even if Langenbrunner hadn't been traded to the Stars, he would have gotten picked over, Patrick Elias. I just think it was, a really bad time to come out and bash something that went over really well with fans and executives.
Absolutely, I think and I've said it on Inside the Huddle as far as the All-Star game goes for the NFL. It's a fun game. Make it a gimmick. Make it a gimmick, and that's what the NHL did. And it seemed like it was pretty successful for the most part. But you made some interesting comments on our Facebook page about Kessel, Aaron, about him, maybe not being very interested as far as the draft goes. And I guess if any player was going to get picked last, maybe Kessel was, the guy to get picked last, since it just seemed like he didn't care.
Yeah, it really felt that way. I know at least, going back through the DVR of it, there were at least 2 or 3 times where the camera itself was just catching him yawning, and maybe it was a nervous tick or something. That happens with people, but it was really, it was one of those things where it just didn't seem like he was interested in being there.
All right, well, answer this if you can. If you're Lidstrom or if you're Stahl, of course you say, okay, easy question, who are you going to draft first? Who would you draft last if you could draft any player in the All-Star game last?
Well, obviously who's left remaining, but
well, who's the
if
least?
I had Stahl's pick?
Yeah, who's the least deserving to be there? If you want to make the question like that.
If it's possible.
Am I
answer.
following the All-Star game format rules?
Sure.
It probably would have been Stasny just based on his statistics this year, but Kessel was also pretty deserving of that. He's had a fairly lackluster season on a really lackluster team. I did pull up the stats before the show. He's 49 games played, he has 19 goals, 15 assists for a total of 34 points. But the biggest factor, he's in minus 19.
Wow.
Which is a really bad statistic for having 34 points.
Isn't Lidstrom -7 this season so far?
I know last I checked, I think he was like a -1, so he was really bad on there. But, playing against the top lines can always be pretty bad for your points. But he also has a 9% shooting percentage, which is worst among the top 40 scorers in the league.
What about the game itself? I mean, it was a typical score for an NHL All-Star game, 11-10. Team Lidstrom ended up winning. What were your overall impressions of the game itself?
I had a couple fun little things I saw about the game. Obviously after the game was aired, Detroit actually had the highest local ratings for all markets when it came to watching the All-Star game.
Oh.
Pittsburgh was second highest, which I was surprised about considering Malkin and Crosby didn't play. But in the game itself, there was a lot of scoring. That's to be expected in most of the games. It feels like, the defense and the goalies kind of just stop caring at a point where they just want to kind of have fun and, there's no competitive level of it. There's no making sure they don't get the pass, making sure they don't take the body on a guy. But, surprisingly, Lidstrom ended up a +7 in the game. That was a very impressive statistic.
And an assist.
Yep, he was on ice for 10 of the 11 goals.
That's ridiculous. Wow.
And it's a very, very, that goes to show that even if he's not on the ice, it seems like kind of players don't score as much, or he prevents people from making those plays. So, and it goes to show that's the kind of game he plays. He doesn't need to be physical. He can thrive in a scoring atmosphere. So it's a very fun statistic,